just common sense. And you know what I think? I think a lot of his callers are working for the enemy.
It seems
and
that way. I don't know who he's representing.
Yeah, if he's not working with them, then he sure is being duped by them, isn't he?
Yes, and this United Nations, these vehicles down in Austin and wherever he's talking about, I think it's so far-fetched that there's no real evidence about, them being in place.
Well, there are some United Nations vehicles in the United States of America. I don't know what they're doing here. I think some of them are made here and purchased here and on the way to be shipped to wherever they're going. I think some are here because our troops function as United Nations troops in some instances. And I think they've got them everywhere.
But he makes it seem like they're going to be deployed with forces.
Well, they may be at some time in the future, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
It's just like all these Russian troops and communist troops that he says are inside the United States, in the national forest, practicing. They're not there. He says the Canadian military and the Mexican military are getting ready to invade the United States from both of our borders. It's not true. It's a lie.
And I have a theory about all of this, all these statements made about how there's going to be an invasion on this country. And I really don't believe that they would destroy the infrastructure. They would have to rebuild it back up.
Well, I don't know. I know they do want a totalitarian socialist new world order. And if they don't succeed in getting the guns out of the hands of the American people, they're never going to have it. It's not going to happen.
Well, I don't think they'll do it by destroying. I think they'll probably do it by gassing us.
Well, I don't know. That's conjecture.
Yeah.
See, that's something you might hear on the Alex Jones show. I think that would be the easy way to do it, but I don't know that that's what they're going to do.
I have a comment.
Well, wait a minute. I got to let some other people in here because we're running up to the end of the hour.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
I'm not trying to cut you off early or anything. I just want to get as many people in here as possible that may want to call. 520-333-4578 is the number. Good evening. You're on the air.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mr. Cooper. This is Virginia in Texas.
Hi.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You just mentioned there about those people calling in. I have thought the very things myself these last few days. And tonight you mentioned about what they were working for somebody else. And I also believe that this is sensationalism. And the thought coming to me that maybe these people have been put on the air to be as ridiculous and as sensational as to ruin it for the true ones that are trying to get the word out to the people.
I've said that many, many times.
Oh, you did?
That it discredits the entire Patriot movement. Can you believe somebody who's really got a brain and knows how to think, listening to this stuff?
No, I missed that New Year's Eve. I should have...
Well, it goes on every day.
Yeah, I do listen.
It goes on literally every day.
Yeah.
And people who know how to think and have a brain that listen to it, blame all of us. They say Patriots are a bunch of nuts.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah, you've really jarred my brain tonight on this, thinking about it, just because kind of listening to it, nonchalant, not even really thinking. But there's an awful lot of liars out there, too, on the other programs.
Yeah, I'm not accusing Alex Jones of being an
either.
agent, although he does accuse me of being an agent because I'm doing this. But I will say this. If he's not an agent, he's being duped.
Yes, and I would think, with the intelligence that some of them profess, that they would catch on, or that there's been times when people have called in. Not
really. I used to be a young man. Alex Jones is only about 25 years old.
Yes,
When I was 25 years old, I thought I knew everything. I didn't know anything.
Oh, I did at 19.
Well, I did at 16. But...
Okay. Okay. Oh, by the way, I called Alan today up there in wherever it is.
Maine?
Yeah, with WBCQ.
Yeah.
And he said that the VOA is coming out of somewhere in Africa, transmitting somewhere from Africa.
Yeah, well, they did the same thing last year and the year before, and he keeps assuring me that they're not on this frequency anymore, but they are. Okay, let me get some other people in here. Thank you, Virginia. 520-333-4578 is the number, and try to get as many people in here as possible that may want to call. I really don't know how many people are listening. Voice of America is on this frequency. There might not be anybody listening. But there's a lot of people listening on the Internet, and we're broadcasting here to the entire Round Valley in Arizona. 520-333-4578 is the number. Yeah, you can hear this stuff every day, folks. And I'm not afraid to lose my audience. If you really like what you heard tonight, if you really like it, go listen to it. But don't come back here because I can't stand having idiots in my audience. Good evening. You're on the air.
Yeah, Bill, is this guy for real or what?
Well, you have to ask him. I've never met him face to face. He sounds like he's real.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, actually, I called him last night, and I just had to call again. I mean, I am so enraged by listening to him speak because, I mean, if I didn't know any better, which I do, I would have been in total panic mode.
Well, people were, and you haven't even heard the worst of it yet.
I mean, he's going on, okay, and he keeps on, you know, he didn't have that many facts, and he kept on pushing what he did know, like the nuclear power plant going down.
Uh-huh.
But that's normal for power plant to shut down a reactor from time to time to do maintenance.
Sure, and that's exactly what they did. There were 2 reactors. They shut down only one because one of their generating transformers had insulating problems, and they had to shut it down. And it took a long time. And he keeps saying, well, I heard the day before that they were going to shut it down, but they didn't shut it down until 2:30 in the morning. It takes months to shut down an atomic power plant.
Mm-hmm. And of course, after he keeps on saying all these fantastic facts that are going on.
Oh, today he claimed that 12 atomic power plants in the United States had shut down just in the last 3 days. And he claimed that 2 in Japan had shut down. Well, I checked on all of them. It's just not true.
Right. And of course, after he says these, and all of a sudden he goes to a commercial to sell, a plug to sell supplies because you're going to need them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that also amazes me. And why not just, offer suggestions of help instead of, bringing all this bad news? Tell people what they can do to help themselves.
Yeah. You know what they're doing now? All of these people, instead of admitting they were wrong about Y2K, now they're pulling out every newspaper article that they never would have paid any attention before, just normal, everyday things that always happen, and they're blaming it all on Y2K.
Of course.
And they're saying the worst is yet to come. You still got to keep buying this stuff, folks. You still got to keep buying this stuff. Keep sending us your money, folks. By God, if you're not scared now, tune in tomorrow. We'll scare you some more.
Right. Because I have an associate that's a FBI agent. And he was on call that night, not for any enforcement or anything, just to protect their own assets, because he works for the Postal Division. And they just went around to make sure nothing would just get out of hand from these crazed people to damage their property.
That's right.
I mean, he was home by 12:15 after midnight. Nothing happened. He said, okay, you can go home now.
They were expecting the people like what you've heard tonight to whip people up into a hysteria to do bad things.
Right.
And they almost did.
I know.
They were also, in other words, some people in government were working with these people to try to make it happen.
Right.
And you'll hear that tomorrow night.
Okay, I'll get off so other people can call in.
Thanks for calling.
Take care, Bill.
520-333-4578 is the number. Yeah, folks. You see, sometimes you get mad at me because I won't let you call in and say certain things on this broadcast. That's why. I just will not allow it. Period. Good evening. You're on the air.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Hi.
Boy, exciting broadcast from Jones there. 4,000 missiles could be in the air. So be calm.
Get you all worked up, did it?
No.
I'll tell you what. When I was listening to it on New Year's Eve, after his show was over, well, he was on Stat Miller's show saying the same stuff. Then he was on the Midas Report. He was on Gerner. He was on all of them. And after a while, I felt the adrenaline starting to. And I know better. I mean, if you listen to this stuff long enough, it will work you up into hysteria. I don't care who you are. It will do it.
Yeah, it could have been a War of the Worlds attempt. I'm kind of glad.
Yeah, wait till you hear it tomorrow night. You'll know for sure.
Well, I'm kind of glad a bunch of people didn't fall for it.
Well, some people did. Only they didn't fall for it, I think, in the way that they wanted them to. They didn't get mad at the government and go out and start burning government buildings and looting and raping and pillaging and all that kind of stuff. Instead, they packed up their cars with their family and their food storage, and they headed for the hills to get out of the cities because they thought atomic bombs were coming down.
Oh,
but you'll hear that tomorrow night.
Oh, your chat room. last night. The hour at a time. Boy, we had a good crowd in it.
Well, great. That's wonderful. I'm glad that people are using it again.
It's, well, you know where it is. But
No.
I was wondering if there's a limit on people that can log on